services. I've really enjoyed working with the staff here at Live Oak, and I look forward to continuing to work with them in the future. Our goals are to enforce the council-adopted codes for the city of Live Oak.
What do we do about that?
I'll have to get with code enforcement to make sure we have some weekend supervision.
Yeah, 'cause you see them out in the streets on the weekends, they're out here doing these jobs, and mainly roofers, and there's nobody working weekends to check and see if they had a permit in that.
Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem, so historically, the city had that program of putting the permits on the door. Unfortunately, for one reason or another, that dropped. We brought it back because it makes it easier for anyone in the city to drive. Okay, I see a house here that there's work, but there's no green tag associated with it. Because remember, the idea behind this whole thing is to make sure we are efficient. If someone has to stop, make a phone call, does this house have a permit, they are taking time away from what they're supposed to be doing. So the first step is to look at the green permit. If it's there, they're good to go. If not, then we stop, and we actually go and physically stop them and say, you have to go to the office and pull a permit. When we go to the NPN route, all that will end. They'll be able to see it on their computer. They'll be able to put a hold. The office will get that hold. And when the applicant comes to the building, they'll be able to know that, one, they never pulled a permit, and fees will be assessed at that point.
But they can't be in all places at all times. And sometimes, I see a lot of stuff going on in the city that they may not be able to see it. But if I can call in permit department, they can let me know. I'll let them know, and they can follow up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we have some ways on the next item that I'll discuss with you and kind of present you what our game plan is for that.
Ask yourself this: why did the city's flock license plate reader program get adopted the same year as BB Inspection's contract, when they were trying to figure out how they were going to make sure businesses and contractors pay for their permits? Why does a deputy fire marshal randomly show up without explanation to multiple businesses minutes after you leave Home Depot to work on a project in the building in order to ask you what you're working on? I have stated that he shows up numerous times without explanation when a contractor arrives and takes bids for projects. There happens to be a flock camera directly across the street from my business. Did you know that it is a crime of official oppression if the deputy fire marshal is using that information from these license plate readers in order to code enforcement, which is not law enforcement? The deputy fire marshal is not law enforcement. He's not an officer in this city. It is also potentially a federal crime since it's a misuse of law enforcement equipment purchased with federal tax dollars.
More efficient. The printers that we currently have deployed in the vehicles are getting older, and so we want to go ahead and try to get some new ones on there. And it's also going to include applying for a couple of surveillance cameras that we can deploy when we have areas of hot spots. We can work with CPS and get those deployed out there, hopefully to capture information and data that's going to come to the resolution and conviction of crimes.
Did you know that according to DFLOCME, there are at least 27 standalone license plate readers in the city of Live Oak? This does not include the vehicle-mounted license plate readers on the police cars. Why are there 9 cameras around the Home Depot that the city of Live Oak has access to? Did you know you cannot get into or out of the city permit office without being captured on a flock camera reader? There are 3 cameras on the streets leading to the city permit office. Did you know that every single police officer in Live Oak has access to your flock system and that they can monitor cameras in other cities? The city of New Braunfels has a contract with Flock, and they have a Home Depot, yet there are no city-owned cameras around their Home Depot.
Now, on the compensation for these services, it will be 65% of the permit issuance, and this is all for the residential and commercial inspections, health inspections, permit, tech services, the CBO services.